Today, we're gonna cook up a beef brisket. It is cold down here in South Texas. You can see we got jackets on, got a fire behind me. But folks, I tell you what, cold weather does not stop us from making our barbecue down here in South Texas. Today, I've got a wonderful, just backyard brisket that we're gonna cook up. Gonna be using some Cosmos, so stick around and let me show you how to get this brisket made up to perfection. You have found Texas-style barbecue and cuisine, and I'm Chef Johnny. Appreciate you stopping by. Guys, we are going to be cooking up a fantastic beef brisket for you today. This is just a backyard brisket. We're going to cook it pretty hot and fast, though. We're going to throw it on our Outlaw Smoker pellet grill, and we're going to cook this baby at about 275 degrees. When it gets how I like it, I never wrap to temperature. I wrap to look. When it looks right, we're going to wrap it. We're going to bump that temperature up to about 300, 325, finish it off wrapped up. But we're going to cook this baby in about 6-7 hours, and it's a nice 12-pound brisket minus some fat. My son trimmed up for us. Come in here close. Let me show you how I get these layers on there, how I layer the Cosmo on it, and how we get it on that pellet smoker. Come on in here close now. Let's look at it. Y'all can see this brisket. It's got some nice marbling through it. It is a choice brisket. Wife ran down to Walmart and picked this up. So what we're going to use today, John took the kernel off here, cleaned a little bit of the fat off the top, not much of the silver skin. But guys, this is just for the family tonight. Gonna flip it over. He took off some of the big fat across here, and of course that fat thins out this way, not a lot. Yeah, I might take that off, but I'm not gonna worry about it today. And we're gonna start getting some seasonings on here. I'm gonna start off with cow cover from Cosmos. And guys, this is a fantastic, fantastic flavor on, I tell you, not just beef. I use it on a lot of different things, but I love this cow cover. I'm gonna give me a nice little coat of it. And one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tip it up and we're gonna get the sides, all right? Cow cover on the sides. And guys, brisket is a big piece of meat. It's not gonna hurt you to put plenty of seasoning on it. So, cow cover's on. Now, salt, pepper, right? SPG and a little garlic from Cosmos. Guys, you know down here in Texas, you always hear salt and pepper. I'm gonna tell you right now, that is Central Texas. That is not all of Texas when it comes to seasoning a brisket. That's just a small area, Austin, Luling, Lockhart, up in that area. We use a lot of other spices throughout this great big state. But I'm gonna put on a good amount of SPG from Cosmo again. Cover it well. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm not gonna rub this in, I'm just gonna kind of pat it. Pat that in. Bring it up, give me a little salt, pepper, garlic on the side. Gonna come around here. Just use my hand to try to help put that up on there. SPG there. Good amount of salt, pepper, garlic. That's on. And the last thing we're gonna put on is some Texas beef. Gives us a little bit of sweet on top of the salt and pepper. But we're just gonna do a nice little sprinkling. I'm not gonna put this on the sides. I'm just gonna go with a nice little sprinkling of Texas beef across this brisket. There we go again. Just pat that in, help it stick. You can put a binder on here if you want to. I'm not doing that today. Come back over. We're gonna come back with our, again, cow cover. Cow cover hot works very good here too. If you've never tried cow cover hot, I like it real well also. But a good coating of cow cover. And then I'm gonna go SPG. Again, plenty of salt, pepper, garlic. And this is gonna build the bark, it's gonna layer flavor. If I had time, guys, I would go sit this and let it sweat out for a little while. I don't have the luxury of time today. So this is gonna go straight onto the Outlaw pellet grill. And again, our final layer of our Texas beef. Just gonna give us a little nice edge of sweetness. Cosmo has worked really good developing these rubs. Texas beef. I like this real well. I use this on steaks. I use it on my brisket. I've used it on pork chops. Heck, I've even put some on chicken. So it's not just for beef either. All right, that looks good. I'm gonna check this Outlaw smoker and we're gonna see if we can get this on here fat side down, guys. Okay guys, here we go. I'm gonna start off on this bottom shelf and I'm gonna put this in. Don't like to get it too far this way. That's kind of where your heat comes up. It's a little warmer there. And scrunch that meat up, right? It's on, it's ready to go. Brisket's on there. I'm thinking 2.5, 3 hours. It ought to be where we want it, as hot as it is. That 275, 300 is gonna plump it up some. You're gonna see it draw in on the ends, maybe a little bit in on the sides, and it's gonna puff. And when it's got the color I like, that's when we're gonna wrap. So it is early on Saturday morning. I gotta have these ready. We're eating tonight about 6:30, 7 o'clock, so I'd like to pull this off 5 o'clock, right? Something like that. So we've got about 6 hours to get this thing cooked, and I think we can do it this way, and wrapping it is gonna help and speed that time out a lot. I am gonna use some butcher paper, so I'll show you how to wrap that brisket up in butcher paper here in just a little bit. But guys, you may notice, got on a new jacket today, some camo. I wanna tell you about a new playlist that we're gonna have. I'm gonna have a playlist about my elk hunt. Some of y'all know that I've been on a diet. I've lost almost 150 pounds. Took me a little bit over a year to do it. My wife is sending me on an elk hunt. So as a reward for doing that. And I'm gonna have a playlist of getting ready for that elk hunt. So we're gonna talk about these Screed jackets. I've already filmed kind of an unboxing of this and some other products in from Screed, Extreme Mountain Gear. Excited about them being with me on this hunt and be able to use their layering systems. But we're gonna talk some about that. I'm gonna show you my rifle. Got a 300 Win Mag from Gore Highlander. It's a really nice gun. Gonna show you that, show you my backpacks. We're gonna show leading up to that hunt, and then we're gonna take you on the hunt and try to get some footage from it. And of course, we're gonna be cooking up some elk if we're fortunate enough to bag an elk while we're there. If we harvest one, you know we're gonna be cooking it for you. So be looking for that elk playlist to get started here in the next few weeks, all right? You find this video later down the road. This is early February of 2021. So if you find this down the road, that playlist will be there. Go find it and see how my elk hunt turned out. But we're gonna shut this down now. I'm gonna see y'all when it's time to wrap that brisket 2.5, 3 hours from now. Catch on a little bit. Here you go, guys. We're about 2 hours in. A little bit crusty on bottom, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip these around, but they are, I want to give them a little bit more color before I wrap them. Fork butt back, that's brisket right there. Where you see where it's puffed up, I barely got it in there. Close it up. There we go, go about another 30, maybe 45 minutes, and we will wrap them up. Guys, it's time to get that brisket off. And grab my gloves here. I got just some plastic gloves. Always keep these in I've showed y'all my knife kit before. Got this from Mercer. You don't find it at my Amazon store, but keep that with me and always have these in there. So this is my high heat situation. Gloves on. Plastic gloves on. And I'm gonna bring that brisket over here. Not gonna open up and show it to you. I showed you a little picture of them when I moved them around a while ago, but let me get them over here and y'all can have a look at this brisket and see exactly how I wrap one up. All right guys, let's get this brisket down on there. You can see it, beautiful color on it. Take my gloves off. Wrap this up real quick. If you've got a great big brisket that you don't think is one sheet's wide enough, just overlap them, get 2 pieces, overlap them some, and that'll work just fine. But I think that's gonna be enough. Gonna move that forward some. Let's cover it. I always go at least 3/4 the way across. This one's all the way across, but at least 3/4. Pick it up. Just to the general area it's going to fold at. That goes down. Fold it over once. Pull it real tight, all right? Good and tight there. Now it's gonna be a little bit long, so I'm gonna take this and just fold it there. That's tight and snug. And right there, ready to go back on the pit wrapped. About another, I'd say about 2.5 hours. We're about 3 hours and 15 minutes into it. This should be ready to eat. This brisket's ready to slice. It's been cooling down. Let it rest for about 1 hour and 45 minutes. But it took us about 5.5 hours to cook this brisket the way I cooked it. So pretty hot, pretty fast. We bumped it up. We got up to about 325. And if you would look at that, folks, that is a pretty brisket. Let me get my slicer out here. Keep one in my kit. Got my slicer. And I always got a sharpening steel just in case I need it. But this brisket is looking pretty. See what I can do here. See what I'm going to do is see if it'll come up off this paper. That is pretty. Trying to hear where I can get to it. Some people will notch their brisket. I never do that because I know that point, that points the direction for you to cut across the grain. So that's all. We can open that up and let you see it a little bit. What do y'all think about that one? We're gonna cut these about 1/4 inch thick, guys. Boy, if you'll look, that brisket is moist in there. Man. Look at that. Oozing with moisture. Guys, you can get you a nice brisket, and it does not have to be a prime brisket. You don't have to spend that money on a prime if you don't want to. Now, I'm gonna tell you, you start with better meat, you're gonna get a better product, without a doubt. And I've cooked a lot of primes. But, guys, look at that. Man, look at that, look here. That, put it down here where you see it. That is a nice sliced brisket. Come here. Look at that, lays across my finger. That's what you're looking for. Here you go, guys. This is a good looking brisket. It's sliced up good. You can see the moist. You can see the smoke ring. That Outlaw smoker did great. The bark and the flavor comes from Cosmos, right? We used some cow cover, a little salt, SPG, salt, pepper, garlic, and then Texas beef up on top of that. That Cosmo cooks up great. I'm gonna take these in the house. The family's gonna be happy. Let's run another slice right here. Guys, again, just a backyard cook, not a competition brisket, but a beautiful brisket. I'm gonna drop this over in my pan. Y'all can't see that, but I'm gonna show you how to slice this top up. Now, that was the flat we sliced, right? We've got to the point. When you get to the point, you change directions of your grain of your meat. So when you get up here, we've been slicing this way, right? Now we're gonna slice this way. Let's come over here. And these, you can afford to slice these just a little bit thicker. Ready? Move that out of the way, but you can get, instead of doing that 1/4 inch, go up to that 3/8 of an inch slice. A lot of moisture, a lot of fat. If we were doing burn ends, this is be where our burn ends came from. But again, beautifully sliced, moist. That point's not hard to get moist, guys, but that's my favorite part of the brisket. My wife likes that lean end, but that good end, this is the, that's a ribeye of the brisket there now. Look at that. Man, pretty brisket. Got an audience over here now. My nephew's over here, gonna let him have a sample of this point. How's that taste?
Amazing.
Good brisket. Okay, folks, you've been waiting for the taste, right? Everybody wants to see the taste. I've got some of my flat here, and look at this, man. That point is just on point. How about that? Great cut of meat. We're gonna give that a try. This cooled down, it's about 168 degrees. You want to let this thing cool down so you can slice it. Helps retain some of that moisture. Doesn't dry out as much, but this is a great looking brisket. Hey, and before you go, remember, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know every time I put one up. And one of the top ways to support this channel is to watch the video from beginning to end. So if you'll watch that whole video for me, share it with your friends and have them watch the entire video. Make those comments, give the thumbs up. That's what helps this channel grow. Share, 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 and watch, watch, watch. That's what I need. Let's see if we can give these a taste. The flat here. Guys, look here. Pulls right apart. It's moist, it's flavorful. We come up to that, come up to the point off that flat. Backyard perfection, I'll tell you that. Fantastic brisket. It was a choice. Ran down to Walmart, wife picked it up, and that Outlaw Smoker did a great job. Cosmos Q, remember to check them out. There's gonna be links down below. And guys, check out Scree, and remember, check out my elk playlist. So go through my playlist, my elk hunt's gonna be on there, and me prepping and getting ready for it. As I get some other material in, some type of product, maybe something I find out, I'm gonna be adding videos. Y'all put the comments down there. Tell me what I need to do, what I need to know for that elk hunt. It's my first one. Be looking for that Gore rifle, because I tell you what, that Premier Highlander is a beast. 300 Win Mag. That video is going to be on there. The Scree Extreme Mountain Gear is going to be on there. So find all that stuff. Appreciate you stopping by. Share this thing around, and we're going to see y'all down the road on Texas style barbecue and cuisine. So long, everybody.
How them boys put food away beats all I've ever seen.